Welcome you all to this video lecture. This is N. Manikandan, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Government College of Engineering, Bodinakino. This lecture is for first year, second semester civil engineering students. The topics covered in this lecture are absorption coefficient, Sabin's formula, derivation using growth and decay method, and determination of absorption coefficient. What is absorption of sound? The property of the surface to convert sound energy into other forms of energy is known as absorption. The effectiveness of absorption of sound energy by the surface is expressed as absorption coefficient. Absorption coefficient is defined as the ratio of sound energy absorbed by its surface to that of total sound energy incident on the surface, that is A equal to sound energy absorbed by the surface divided by total sound energy incident on the surface. The value of A depends on the nature of the material as well as the frequency of sound. The greater the frequency, the larger is the value of A for the same material. All the sound incident on an open window is fully transmitted and none is reflected. Therefore, it is considered as an ideal absorber of sound. So, the absorption coefficient is also defined as the ratio of sound energy absorbed by 1 meter squared of the surface to that observed by 1 meter squared of an open window. That is, absorption coefficient A equal to sound energy absorbed by 1 meter squared of the surface divided by sound energy absorbed by 1 meter squared of open window. Its unit is open window unit or 7 per meter square. The absorption coefficient value for glass is 0.02 open window unit. For concrete is 0.17 open window unit. What is reverberation? When a sound is produced in a hall by a sound source, a listener who is seated inside the hall not only receives the direct sound from the source and also receives multiple reflection of the sound waves from the walls, windows, ceiling and floor of the wall as on the figure. So a sound wave has 2 to 300 repeated reflections before it becomes inaudible. The listener therefore receives a series of sounds of diminishing intensity. Here the listener does not hear a single sharp sound but a roll of sound. That sound heard continuously for a definite interval of time even though the source of sound stopped to emit the sound. This effect is known as reverberation. The reverberation is found to vary from room to room depending upon the dimensions as well as the nature of the various material used in its construction. Now we can easily define what is reverberation. That is, the existence or prolongation or persistence of sound in a room even after the source of sound has stopped to emit the sound is called reverberation. What is reverberation time? The time duration for which a sound persists even after the source of sound has stopped to emit the sound is called reverberation time. What is standard reverberation time? It is defined as the time taken by the sound intensity to fall 1/millionth of its initial intensity after the sound source has stopped to emit the sound, that is I equal to Im divided by 10 power 6, where I is the intensity of sound after the time interval corresponding to standard reverberation time T. Im is the initial intensity. If we talk in terms of decibel, the reverberation time is defined as the time taken by the sound to fall in its intensity level by 60 decibel. Let us see about Sabin's formula for reverberation time. Sabin found that the time of reverberation depends upon the size of the hall, loudness of the sound, and upon the kind of the music or sound for which hall is to be used. According to V. Sabin, the reverberation time is given by T equal to 0.167 into V divided by summation AS. its unit is second, where P is the volume of the hall or room in meter cube. A is the absorption coefficients of the surface areas of different materials present in the hall in open window unit. S is the surface area of the different materials present in the hall in meter cube. And summation AS is the total absorption of sound, that is sum of the product of absorption coefficient and surface area of the corresponding surfaces in subine. Now we are going to derive the expression for reverberation time using growth and decay method. Sabin developed the reverberation formula to express rise and fall of sound intensity with the following assumptions. That is, the distribution of sound energy is uniform in all parts of the hall. There is no interference of sound waves in the hall. The absorption coefficient is independent of sound energy and there is no loss of energy in the air. We shall calculate the rate at which the sound energy is incident upon the walls and hence the rate at which the sound energy is being absorbed. Consider a small element ds on a plane wall AB in the hall as shown in the figure. It is assumed that the element ds receives sound energy. Taking O as a midpoint on ds, two semicircles are drawn with radii r and r plus dr. Now consider a small shaded portion between the circles lying between two radii r and r plus dr drawn at angles theta and theta plus d theta with normal ON as shown in the figure. Therefore, the radial length of the shaded portion is equal to dr. The arc length of the shaded portion is equal to r theta or d theta. The area of this shaded portion is equal to r d theta dr. Put this as equation number 1. Now we imagine that the whole figure is rotated about the normal through an angle d phi. The shaded portion travels through a small distance dx and thus traces out an elemental value dV as shown in the figure. Distance travelled by this shaded portion dx equal to r sin theta d phi. Therefore, the value traced by the shaded portion dV equal to area into distance travelled, that is dV equal to r d theta dr into r sin theta d phi. It can be written as dV equal to r squared sin theta d theta dr d phi. Put this in equation number 2. If E is the sound energy density, that is sound energy per unit volume, then sound energy present within the elemental volume dV is equal to E into dV. On substituting equation 2, we get E into dV equal to E r squared sin theta d phi dr. Put this is an equation number 3. The sound energy from elemental volume is travelling equally in all directions in total solid angle 4 pi. Therefore, sound energy travels the volume dV per unit solid angle is equal to E dV by 4 pi is equal to E r squared sin theta d phi dr divided by 4 pi. Put this is an equation number 4. Here the solid angle subtended by the area ds at this elemental volume dV is equal to ds cos theta divided by r square. Therefore, the sound energy from the elemental volume dV towards ds can be written as eds sin theta cos theta d phi dr divided by 4 pi. Put this as an equation number 5. Since sound energy is falling on ds from all directions, the value theta changes from 0 to pi by 2 and phi changes from 0 to 2 pi. Here r changes from 0 to v, where v is the velocity of sound, and therefore the total sound energy falling on ds per second is equal to eds divided by 4 pi integral 0 to pi by 2 sin theta cos theta d theta integral 0 to 2 pi d phi integral 0 to v dr. Here integral 0 to pi by 2 sin theta cos theta d theta is 1 by 2 and integral 0 to 2 pi d phi is 2 pi and 0 integral 0 to v dr is v. Therefore we can simplify the equation. We get the total sound energy falling on ds per second is equal to ev ds divided by 4. Put this as an equation number 6. If A is the absorption coefficient of the wall AB, of which ds is a part, then sound energy absorbed by ds in 1 second is equal to ev ds A divided by 4. Therefore, total sound energy absorbed per second by the whole enclosure, entire hall, is equal to ev summation ads divided by 4. That is equal to ev capital A divided by 4. Put this as an equation number 7, where capital A equal to summation ads is the total absorption of sound by all the surfaces inside the hall on which sound energy is incident. Growth and decay of sound energy. If P is sound power output, that is rate of emission of sound energy from the source, and V is the total volume of the hall, then the total sound energy in the hall at a given instant T is equal to EV, where E is the sound energy density at that instant. Therefore, rate of growth or increase in energy per second is equal to d of EV by dt is equal to V into dE by dt. Here the volume of the hall is constant. Put this as an equation number 8. Rate of emission of sound energy by the source is equal to rate of growth of sound energy in the room plus rate of absorption of sound energy by the walls. That is capital P equal to capital V dE by dt plus E small v into capital A divided by 4. When steady state is reached, dE by dt is equal to 0. Steady state energy density is denoted as Em. Therefore, P is equal to Em by Va divided by 4. We can written as capital Em equal to 4V by Va. Dividing equation 9 by the value V, we get dE by dt plus EVA divided by 4V is equal to P by V. Put this as an equation number 10. Substituting Va by 4V is equal to alpha, equation 10 is written as dE by dt plus E alpha is equal to 4P alpha divided by small v into capital A. Here 1 by capital V is equal to 4 alpha divided by small v into capital A. Multiplying with e power alpha t on both sides of the equation, we get dE by dt capital E into exponential power alpha t is equal to 4P alpha exponential power alpha t divided by small v into capital A. Integrating on both sides, we get capital E into e power alpha t is equal to 4P alpha into exponential power alpha t divided by small v capital A into alpha plus k. Put this as an equation number 11, where k is the integration constant and it is determined by considering the boundary conditions. Next, rate of growth of sound energy. If T is measured from the instant the sound source emits sound, then the initial condition becomes capital E equal to 0 at T equal to 0. This is boundary conditions. This boundary conditions gives the value of K is equal to minus 4P divided by small v into capital A. Put this as an equation number 12. Using the value of K into equation number 11, we get capital E power alpha T is equal to 4P by small v into capital A and the exponential for alpha T minus 4P by small v into capital A. Simplify the above equation, we get capital E is equal to Em into 1 minus e power minus alpha t. Put this as an equation number 13. Here Em is equal to 4p divided by small v into capital A. The equation 13 represents the growth of sound energy density E with the time t. A graph is plotted between sound energy density and time t. It is a rising exponential curve as shown in the figure. This indicates that E increases with time t, and when t tends to infinity, the value of E is equal to Em. Next, the rate of decay of sound energy. Assume that the sound energy has reached the maximum value, that is capital E is equal to Em, while the power of the source P equal to 0. Here the boundary condition is T equal to 0, P equal to 0 and the value E equal to Am. Using these boundary conditions, in equation 11, we get the value of K is equal to E power alpha T. Substituting the above value in equation 11, we get K equal to Em. Put this as an equation number 14. From equations 11 and 14, we get capital E is equal to Em e power minus alpha t. Put this as an equation number 15. Equation 15 represents the decay of sound energy density with the time after the source is cut off. A graph is plotted between sound energy density and time. It is an exponentially decreasing curve as shown in the figure. Taking log on both sides, we get log to the base e power alpha t is equal to log to the base e 10 power 6. Simplify the above equation, we get capital T is equal to 6 into 2.3026 divided by alpha. Substitute the value of alpha in the above equation. Alpha equal to Va divided by 4V. We get capital T, the reverberation time capital T is equal to 6 into 2.3026 into 4V divided by small v into capital A. If taking the velocity of sound V equal to 330 meter per second, we get the reverberation time capital T is equal to 0.167 capital V divided by summation AS. Here summation AS is the total absorption of sound capital A. Put equation number 16. Equation number 16 is known as Sabin's formula for reverberation time. Limitations for Sabin's formula. Sabin's formula for reverberation time gives correct results only when the average absorption coefficient is less than 0.2. Sabin's formula cannot be applied for a dead room, that is a room having a short reverberation time. Next we are going to discuss about how to determine the absorption coefficient of a material using Sabin's formula. Consider a hall of volume V and surface area S. First, without fixing any sound absorbing material in the hall as shown in the figure, the reverberation time T1 is measured. Reverberation time T1 is equal to 0.167 V divided by summation AS. The above equation can be rewritten as that 1 by T1 is equal to summation AS divided by 0.167 V. Put this as an equation number 1. After fixing absorbing material inside the hall, as shown in the figure, the reverberation time can be written as T2 equal to 0.167 V divided by summation AS plus A1 S1, where A1 is equal to absorption coefficient of the observing material and S1 is equal to surface area. Therefore, 1 by T2 is equal to summation AS plus A1 S1 divided by 0.167 V. Put this as an equation number 2. Subtracting equation 1 from equation 2, we get 1 by T2 minus 1 by T1 is equal to summation A1 S1 divided by 0.167 V. Put this as an equation number 3. From equation 3, the absorption coefficient of the sound absorbing material can be written as A1 is equal to 0.167 V divided by S1 into T1 minus T2 divided by T1 into T2. Put this as an equation number 4. By knowing the surface area of the absorbing material S1, volume of the hall V, reverberation times T1 and T2, the absorption coefficient of the material can be easily determined by equation 4. Thank you.